Hello everyone, and a very warm welcome here to our webinar today with Libero Systems. I'm Stefan from Extreme Distribution. Today I'm your host, and I'm very happy to have Irfan with me here. Yeah, you can see him already. That is the video that we share, and you are here at the India promo week that we run this week. We started with Woody Technologies on Monday. We had a look into the media asset management from Floorworks on Tuesday. Yesterday, we had a look onto transcoding from Capella. And today, it's the day for baseband operations, playout, ingest, and other. Please stay tuned. And let me introduce first who we have here with us today. As said, Libero Systems, that is our partner from Turkey for playout, recording, multi-viewer, and more. And our guest today here is Irfan. He is in his office in Istanbul and is giving us an insight today into the Libero product portfolio. Irfan, very warm welcome to you.
Thank you, Stefan. Thank you for today's webinar.
So at that point, I'm right away handing over to you the screen sharing so that you can run us through the product portfolio from Libero. And then at the end, we have a special for you. So please be with us. So let me do that to give you the sharing.
Hello, everyone. To get started, I want to begin by thanking you all for joining today. Let me introduce myself briefly. My name is Irfan, and I am the product owner of Libero Systems. I'll begin by outlining our solutions, and then I'll go on to highlight what they do, when and how to use them. Now, let's get down to the business. Libero Systems has been established in 2016 with the aim of ensuring more reliable and innovative solutions for a permanent place at the international level for the partners in the broadcast technology. Libero Systems is committed to providing user-friendly features and interfaces at all the times. And with our long years of experience in both operation and developing side to reach our targets faster by providing high-level and flexible broadcast technology solutions. And mainly we have, as you see on the screen, we have playout solution, ingest solution, multi-viewer and monitoring solution, and video convert and transport solution that is Libero Hybrid, and football analyzing solution that is Libero Coach, and newspaper solutions, media asset management solutions, and a basic on-air drawing solutions, and also graphic solutions and the replay solutions, and so on. So I would like to start with Libero Play now. It is a multi-channel playout automation system that provides fully redundant and resilient client-server architecture. It has three layers for redundancy that are video server layer, controller layer, and the client layer. The client layer also will be available in the near future, and the controller represents the end user interface in this setup. And we intend to release also a new web client for Libero Play in the next year, I hope. So the system has most integration for NR state solutions, and it is possible to control harmonic video servers, and the other well-known video servers are on the roadmap. So after the interface, let's check the key features. The key features, as you see on the screen, such as client-server architecture, frame accurate redundancy between main and backup video servers, and the system supports HD, HD, UHD, 4K, even SMTP 2110 will be available in the quarter 1 of the next year. It is on the test lab currently. And the others, such as a possibility to play between mark in and out points and logo insertion, output preview feature, and we also support wide range of file formats. In a single rundown, you will be able to play different format videos back to back. And we have multi-language support and auto update for commercial blogs or external rundowns, and we have multiple input sources support such as SDI or IP streams, and multiple output sources support such as SDI, NDI, or IP streams. Then the IP streams can be UDP, RTP, RTSP, RTMP, HLS, MPEG-Dash, and so on. And on the screen, as you saw earlier, we have indicators, counters such as warnings for missing clips or scheduled events, storage spaces, etc. And we have search option from devices, file systems, and third-party systems also. And after the key features, I'll start with the actual products themselves. Before I do that, I want to give you in-depth information about our playout ecosystem. So let's see the architecture of Libero Play. These are the components of our playout solution that are designed for very large workgroups. Every single component that you are going to see today is hardware agnostic. So what we have on the screen now is we have two Libero Play controllers at the top of the structure that represent the end user clients in this architecture, and two Libero Play servers that represent the video servers. As you see on the left hand side on the screen, there is a primary controller, and on the right side of the screen there is a secondary controller, and they are communicating and they are sending each other heartbeats to check the health of the softwares or the hardwares. Then according to this, according to the situation, they will be able to hand over all the control of the system. So if you have a requirement to work with this kind of redundancy, and after one of the controllers crashed, as you see, and the communication will be interrupted. Then the system fails it over automatically, and the secondary control becomes the new primary control. Then the system will continue without any interruption. So then after you make the first controller up and running, it can be again connected and synchronized with the new secondary control. If it is not possible to make it happen with the current hardware, another hardware can be deployed as a new controller to make it a secondary controller. This is the first layer of the redundancy, the controller layer. So it is possible to fail it back manually after ensuring the first controller is synchronized and connected properly. We also offer video server redundancy as the second layer that can be Libero Play servers or Harmonic video servers. The other quite popular and well-known video servers are on the roadmap. As I mentioned earlier, in this diagram, we have two Libero Play servers. Libero Play server is generally considered as a traditional video server, but basically it is very similar to what the video server does. However, it has lots of intelligence behind it. And depending on the hardware and capture card, it is possible to create SDI, NDI, UDP, RTP, RTSP, RTMP, and HLS outputs also. So, but of course, not everything is about only the video server redundancy to sustain the whole workflow. Automatically failing over is also very important to prevent any kind of interruption, such as black frame, freeze frame, or drop frames on the screen. And if one of the video servers is crashed, Libero triggers the video router to make the backup port on air just in time. Libero router control gateway can control the video routers using the common protocols such as Blackmagic Video Hub, Evertz Quartz Type 1, or GVG Jupyter ASCII, GVG Native, Harris LRC, Harris Pass-Through, or Kramer 2010 3000, or Miltech NDI, and so on. So when we looking into backing up the pipeline, we will always recommend to you both secondary controller and backup video server and router control gateway. So on the next diagram, we can see our clients layer also that is on the roadmap and will be available in the Q1 of the next year. We can say in a couple of months. And if we talking about the next year, the Q1 of the next year, Libero Play, then you can see that we have three different components on the Libero Play solution that are, as I mentioned, clients, controllers, and the video servers. Effectively, the main difference between controllers and clients is the number of them and the responsibilities of them. So in our current structure, as I mentioned earlier, the controllers represent the clients. Then after we announce the new client layers, the controller will be managed by unlimited clients interfaces. And on the controller layer, we provide primary and secondary controllers. On the client layer, there isn't any limitation. So the users will be able to reach any of primary and secondary controllers that belong to different unlimited channels. In addition, we have our own web service and REST API for integration. We can also import XML and JSON files that are created by third-party systems. Defining a watch folder is another way to load, insert, append playlists and commercial blocks automatically when they are modified. And in Q1 of the next year, secondary events function will be available to trigger and add insertion, graphics, vision mixers, etc. So let's continue with the Libero Hybrid. Libero Hybrid is a video transport and convert solution that supports SDI, NDI, WebRTC, and IP stream formats. You can transport the video sources over the internet with a low latency WebRTC signal, or convert your YouTube live sources or Skype sources to SDI signals. It also provides brief information about input stream information such as video formats, frame rates, and bit rates. You can monitor the video and audio preview. Actually, this solution is the best one to combine your old and new generation systems. As you see on the interface, we support up to 8 pipelines, and you can monitor and you can transport or convert them in this simple interface. So as you see, the key features of Libero Hybrid, such as SD, HD, UHD, and 4K supports, and also SDI, NDI, WebRTC, IP stream or file inputs, and SDI, NDI, or WebRTC output. On the IP stream input side, we support UDP, RTP, RTSP, RTMP, HLS, MPEG-, and on the output side, the IP stream is not exists at the moment, but in the Q1 of the next year, the IP stream output will be also available. And the other key features such as input bitrate charts, loop feature for file input, and LUFS audio normalizations, audio gain feature, and monitoring inputs to auto-activate outputs. And we support up-down cross-scaling and frame rate conversion. And in this diagram on the screen, you can see the video transport workflow basically. It is just a scenario that you can use Libero Hybrid as a video transport. And as I mentioned, you can also convert your sources in your facility to SDI to NDI, from SDI to NDI, or let's say you have studio cameras that can provide RTMP sources or NDI sources. You can use these sources without any cabling in your facility with Libero Hybrid. And in this scenario, the locations can represent also field teams, agency wires, OB1s, and external cloud platforms, and content providers also. So again, the interface of the Libero Hybrid, and when we are looking into a solution, we always try to understand what the company is planning to do, and especially what the end users are expecting us to do. Honestly, sometimes the decision makers do not see the minor but too important points that can become huge issues during the project. Because of this, we always provide the trial version of our solutions with as long as possible licenses to discuss every single point with the especially end users. So from my point of view, a hands-on demonstration is the best way to understand all the functions and the features properly. So after the webinar or whenever you need, please don't hesitate to ask for a demo installation. And as you see, these are our portfolio, and we have a good relationship and cooperation with our partners, such as Extreme and our customers, and we always consider the request from them. I want to emphasize that our solutions are customizable if there is any significant request or requirement. Also, it is possible to prioritize the request from our partners or customers if it is on the roadmap. On the other hand, we are following the market trends and new technologies such as SMPT 2110. It will be available on Libero Play and Libero Hybrid also in the Q1. And we are focusing on leading the market trends also. For this purpose, we are designing unique solutions such as Libero Hybrid. And on the customer side, our solutions are designed for anyone who works with the video asset. That video asset can be related to content creation, education, editing, live streaming, small, medium post-productions houses, linear TV channels, OTT or VOD platforms, and various companies that do all of these jobs and more. So thank you for your time. On my site, the presentation site.
Before we close, could you say one or two sentences about the most important of the other products? I think about in the indications or ingest or the multi-viewer.
Let me show the portfolio. Actually, I intend to briefly inform you about the user interfaces as hands-on demonstration, but because of the limited time, it won't be on the desk now. So on the Libero ingest, it is a multi-channel ingest solution that again support SDI, NDI, IP streams, and such as RTP, UDP, RTSP, etc. And we have up to 8 concurrent records in this simple interface. And also we support monitoring function that monitor your input, and when the system recognizes the signal is available, it starts to record, and when it is not available, it stops the record immediately. And we have also up to 20 IP dump record function, and also with the Libero ingest web interface, which calls Libero scheduler, it is possible to schedule your records for the future, for the next weeks or next months, etc. And the system will start automatically when it comes. As a briefly Libero ingest as like that. On the multi-viewer side, we again support IP streams, SDI or NDI as an input, and it supports up to 16 channels and more. It depends on the hardware. As I mentioned, our solutions are hardware agnostic, and according to the performance, it will be able to use more channels in the multi-viewer. And I mentioned Libero Hybrid, and on the Libero Coach side, it is a sports analyzing software that you can criticize the, for example, football events for your viewers or for the coach to make decisions for the next event. And Libero newspaper has known, especially nowadays, the people cannot touch anything, even anything. Also newspaper also. Because of this, presenting the newspapers in a TV show would be a good solution for the users to reach the newspapers. It supports touch screen, and it has its own remote control that you can control remotely the interface from the PCR or MCR. And media asset management solutions. In the main features of these solutions, we provide unlimited users and unlimited storages or channels or categories in this solution. But again, it depends on the hardware requirement. Then the next one is Libero Draw. It is a simple tool that you can draw anything on the touch screen in your window while it's on air, and it will be available on the output just in time. And on the Libero CG side, we provide CG solution, a graphic solution that is now becoming embedded graphic solutions in our playout. Will be also as a secondary event of our rundown. And the replay also, it is a kind of ingest solutions, but it is the specific version of ingest solutions that you can record up to 8 sources simultaneously, and you can tag the sources simultaneously. Let's imagine you have you are recording the football event or a TV show. The sources coming from different perspectives, and you are tagging them, and you are while it's growing, you will be able to uh, preview it and make it on air at the same time, and to criticize the important points of the event. You will be able to zoom in and out, and the zoom in fraction of the video will be on air. So
Irfan,
mainly,
have many thanks for that overview. We have received a number of questions. I think we should try to answer them. Irfan, the first question was, what I/O cards are supported?
so as a capture card, as I understand, so we support Aja, Blackmagic, Delta Stream, Bluefish, Streamlabs, and I I that I cannot remember now the others, but we support many different brands that are very popular and well known on the market.
All the popular ones.
Yeah, exactly.
Then there was another question about, do you support MOS integration for playout?
Yeah, I guess I missed the point because I focused the redundancy side on this webinar. We have a MOS integration, and it is very flexible, and it is in use one of our customers uh, in Istanbul. And in this facility, it is integrated with ANOVA, the open media, the CGI's open media. Now it is SciSys, I guess. So with this MOS integration, we have ability to, as you know, integrate any NRCS solutions.
So it's especially for news playout in this particular case, to receive the rundown for the news show.
Yeah, exactly. So
the next question was, how many simultaneous I/O do you support in a single system?
So as you saw on the rundown side, let's I cannot share now, but let me explain how it works. On the single rundown, we have give you ability to define two different video servers. That means two different ports, and the system will simultaneously and frame accurately play both video servers. And on the video server layers, if or I can say according to the hardware capture card, let's say video server 1 have 8 ports in the hardware, in the capture card, you will be able to use the 8 outputs simultaneously.
So that means a typical system scales up to 8 playout on one server. And what about ingest, for instance, or multi-viewer? How far do they scale?
So on the ingest side, as we always mentioned, our solutions are hardware agnostic, and if you use several capture cards in the hardware, in the appliance, and let's say you have 30 input, or you have 10 input, and it will be available, the host will be available as an input and also as an output. But on the ingest side, we focusing the input because it is a recording solution. And also on the multiviewer side, it is same, and it will be hardware issue, and if you have several input and I/O or capture cards, you can use them all. And also, as I mentioned, we support router control. It means you will be able to use all the sources in your router.
Do you support graphics or secondary events in your playout?
So as I mentioned, we support graphics, but it looks as a column or as a, configurable buttons on the interface for your logos or commercial logos and so on. But secondary event site is on the test phase in our labs and will be available in the quarter 1. And the secondary events will be we intend to implement such as channel port of harmonics and VSRT and triggering the vision mixers or triggering the edge insertion for SCSI, etc.
So it's possible to have multiple secondary events and tertiary events.
Yeah.
The next question was also related to playout. Is it possible to play manually one by one, or is it an automatic rundown?
So we support channel in one single interface. And so let's say you purchase 2 video servers and you want to use them standalone, and you can use one server with one port in one rundown without redundancy, and you can use the others in the same way. So it means you don't have to use the 2 ports or 2 servers as a redundant in the rundown. So it is flexible, as I mentioned. If you don't need a redundancy, no need to use the second port in the rundown.
I think the question was more in a news show. Can I play item by item manually? So as I play into the mixing console.
So on the news show, as mentioned, we have most integration and the rundown will be synchronized, and our solutions offer you to change the end behavior and start behavior of the rundown items. So it means the system can play the videos back to back without any interruption. And you can also configure it as pause on the first frame until when I click play button, and pause on the last frame until when I click next button. So it is very flexible to operator usage.
I see. One more question. Does your software support multiple I/O cards in one system? So like 2 Archer cards, for instance.
Yeah, exactly.
That was an easy answer. Then let me ask me, how many?
As I mentioned, depends on the hardware. And you can also use different brands also. Let's say in your hardware, you have AJ cards, you have Blackmagic cards. It's possible to use both.
I see. Then another question, do you support built-in graphic playout? I think you answered that already. It's like the logo that is built in.
Currently, I want to mention that we support the embedded graphics. For the embedded graphic, we support move file with alpha channels and PNG files, and as I mentioned, as I remember, target sequence also. And in this period of the year and the quarter 1, we are focusing on the secondary event side, and it will be better quickly.
Good. Would you say that your software is a channel in the box?
It is possible. So I always mention that you can use different hardwares for each software, but you can also install all of them in one single appliance.
Sorry, I was muted. So I think here we need to come to an end. But before we conclude, as this is the so-called promo week, I need to inform you about the special promotions. And this is a joint effort that we do with our partner Raoul Commerce. So Nitin was with us here during the whole session. Thank you so much for joining. Now, what is the special offer for this promotion? It is that you can get training for free. So we offer a half-day training per product that you buy for free if the purchase happens within this year. Obviously, training can then happen later on, typically like next year. And in addition, if it's a subscription product, you would get 1 additional month of the subscription for free. So like instead of 12 months, 13 months. If it's a purchase product, then it is that you get again 1 year of 1 month of maintenance for free. So instead of 12 months maintenance, 13 months maintenance. The renewal simply happens later. Here at that point, Irfan, have many thanks for joining us this day. And many thanks to all of you who have joined us in this webinar. If you want to have more information, please look at our website. You will find that on x-dream-distribution.com. There you will find all the products and you can get more insights, request demos, can request trial versions. Just feel free to do so. And we are also very happy to jump on a call with you anytime to give you a remote demo. Thank you so much for today and see you soon here. Tomorrow, we will be here again and we'll look into workflow solutions. So please come back tomorrow. Thank you.